Okay, so your time starts now.
Thank you. Hi everybody. I am Jay Cooper, that's me up there, just in case you can't see me at the back. I run Digital Lounge, which is a collaborative and think then share space. It's basically where people like you and me get together and start using our heads and coming up with some solutions and some ideas. I also pay the bills by running a company called Digital Training Company, which is a digital training strategy and insight of that company. Now, I'm not going to go through the ins and outs and the whats and wherefores of those two structures. What I am actually going to do is tell you what I do. And I'm actually paid to think. I'm paid by the likes of Bupa and Lego and Breaking Breast Cancer. And I'm asked by them purely to think, to come up with some ideas, to think through ideas, and to think through why they're doing things in and around the digital space. So I'm going to show and give you some ideas about how to think during this session. So hopefully they will come up. What I'm thinking about today is thinking beyond the obvious. And if we can get that, if I can get that across to you today, then I've done my job. Quick question for you all. And I don't want the answer. If you've got the answers, keep it to yourself. But quick question. Why is a carrot like a potato? And why is a lion like a wolf? Now again, if you know the answer, keep it. What I want you to do is think about the question. And I'll come on to that right at the end. If I run out of my 6 minutes, I'm going to give you my sum up right at this moment. If content is king, then context is its castle. And this is the most important part of what I'm saying this afternoon. It's all about context, not necessarily about what the content actually is. This handsome chap is a chap called Dr. Graham Stokes, and he actually works for Bupa. He is a clinical psychologist. He is also the head of their director of dementia care. And I had a conversation with him, and he absolutely rocked my world with what he's done. He has revolutionized the way that people with Alzheimer's are looked after at Bupa care homes. And what he established was, when someone has Alzheimer's, don't look at the problem, look at the environment they're in. So don't necessarily see what they're saying and what they're doing and acting upon that. Understand the environment that they're in and why they're doing that. And this is kind of what I'm putting forward for today. The difficulty within digital, the difficulty that a lot of us face, is that we come across a lot of hippos. Now, hippos are the highest important person's personal opinion. And the difficulty with that is that a lot of questions are asked by people who have an opinion on something. So the question they're looking to do is validate what their opinion actually is. Some of these questions could be, why aren't we on Facebook? Could be, should we have an iPhone app? Another question could be, how can I make money from my Twitter feed? And the point is that if you're reacting to those particular questions, you're not going to come up with a very creative solution. You're just reacting to the hippo. Example of hippo thinking from last year, Nestle. Nestle came up with a Facebook fan page, and you might be able to see what happened here. Emily at the top would personally like to thank Nestle for providing a place for all those people who see their unethical, disgusting, illegal practices. The point is that I don't have an axe to grind with Nestle at all. I love Kit Kats. But the point is that someone's come up with this to think this is a great idea. They have sorted this out. If you go and see the Nestle page now, it's not as bad as that, and it certainly isn't full of this sort of vitriol. But the thinking that led to it was purely reactionary, purely from somebody thinking that that might be a good idea to do that. Here is an example of where thinking has gone in. People have asked a question last year about the general election, the digital election it was meant to be. And a lot of people brought up with me and said, I thought you said that this election is going to be the digital election. It wasn't, it was TV. It was I agree with Nick. I'd like to be back at those stages at this precise moment, but it was all about the TV presidential style debates. It wasn't about what was going on in the world of digital. Actually, it was quite crucial, because what digital actually did was behind the scenes called what happened. And this is a picture of Caroline Lucas. She's the first Green MP for Brighton, and an organisation called Tweetminster accurately called the election. They worked out to a higher degree than the actual standard opinion pollsters out there how it was going to be, down to I think plus or minus two seats that were in there. And what they were able to gauge wasn't the question of who you're going to vote for. They were able to take sentiment and be able to look at the context of what was going on to be able to come up with this particular prediction, which none of the pollsters actually did. Another question that people may ask is TV the thing of the past? People's TV habits have gone down to 2 hours a day now. People's social media habits have gone up to 2.5. Do we move all our money out of TV into social media? That is a question that a hippo would follow. If a hippo asked that and you follow that, you would start thinking, I've got to put all my media spend into social media. The difficulty with that is that you can't compare the two. You shouldn't be able to move your thing out to the left. Also, with the recall last year of Toyota, what was happening with this? There was a lot of people saying they should have gone onto social media and started using that in a very knee-jerk reaction way to actually get their cars back in. Look at all the bad sentiments out there. My thing was to look at it and say, well, actually, is it the right thing to do? Will it actually do more harm than good if they just do this knee-jerk reaction? So, what I'm trying to say here is to look pretty much beyond the obvious. Don't miss the donut by just looking through the hole. The answer to my earlier questions, by the way, a carrot is like a potato because it's a vegetable. It's got nothing to do with the question. It's actually the context it's set. And it was a question that was written by Graham Stokes to test people for early stages of Alzheimer's. So don't analyse the question. Analyse why the question is being asked. Thank you very much.
Bang on time.